So we've got to talk about Israel and the Hamas right now. The Hamas has held these hostages for uh, months and months right now. This is outrageous that it's been so long. And one of the most egregious ones of all are the Bibas family. It is the father who was just released. He never knew that his wife and two kids were killed, murdered by these terrorists. And now, of course, we've got a couple media outlets saying that they were uh, imprisoned or prisoners or, released from jail, being arrested, I think is the terminology they use, which is ridiculous. They were hostages. Okay. The Hamas went into Israel, attacked families and homes, and took these people, murdered people, raped women, killed children in their beds, and then kept some of these others. The ones that they've kept in tunnels in terrible, heinous conditions. The Red Cross has done nothing to help these people. Other countries have done nothing to help these people. Israel has basically been on its own. United States has supported them, although the support under the Biden administration was lukewarm at best. But now that Trump is in office, he has given Israel the authority and the ability that they need to complete this mission. I truly believe that. So now the Bibas family is supposedly being returned or has been returned, the dead bodies. The father was released a little while ago, just found out that his family had been killed. It's really, really just sad to see. Now they return these bodies, and the way that this is the fallacy of the left trying to tell you that the Palestinian people deserve freedom. They deserve to have their own country. They deserve to have, this two-state solution, their own authority, their own autonomy. They keep saying these kind of things. And it's just sickening because you see the way that these people act in their home country, and it makes you sick. I mean, I want to show you some examples here of how they're acting. This is celebrating as they're returning dead bodies to Israel. And another video showing the crowds of people just absolutely despicable behavior. I mean, this is really, really primitive. And it just goes to show the primitive nature of a people who have been kept, in poverty by their authorities for so long. That is the mental illness that has been indoctrinated in these people for so long, to keep supporting an entity that keeps you poor, that attacks its neighbors, makes you think that these people are the bad guys. It's sickening, but it's a powerful, powerful force. So like I said, just sick, primitive behavior. And this is what would happen. This would continue if you go forward with the quote unquote two-state solution. Never mind the fact that the Palestine Israel separation being run by supposedly the Palestinian Authority, but we all know the Hamas was really in control of the Gaza Strip, was really a two-state solution to begin with. I really haven't heard enough people point that out, that what would be the difference between a two-state solution? The idea that they would be separate governments and completely separate entities that would be in charge of controlling their own future and their own government structure. But that's what they had. And they showed that they voted for and supported a terrorist organization. I think that disqualifies the two-state solution from ever being tried again. It's absolute insanity. So Trump's plan to basically flatten the whole land, the whole Gaza Strip, and split these people up and divide them into other countries is probably the best plan. It keeps them from being all one powerful group that can just destroy whatever country that they get put into next. So ultimately, that's probably the best idea. But you cannot allow these people to return to the way they were. You can't allow it. Once Israel has gone in there and crushed them, if we let them be, they will just return to the way they were. Now, here's another video showing the pictures of some of the people that were returned. Their dead bodies were returned, and showing the Red Cross once again. Basically, this is the only thing the Red Cross has ever done for these people, is to transport their dead bodies home. Just obvious, the terrible nature of this whole thing. And now this is a video showing the kidnapping of the Beatus family back in October 7th. So you can see an overhead shot here of them being surrounded, wrapped up in a blanket, the mother holding her two children, being escorted by 4 or 5 Palestinian men who I'm sure were saying all kinds of nasty things and treating them in nasty ways, taking her to be held prisoner and eventually killed in the Gaza Strip. Just really, really sad to know eventually what would happen to these people and to realize that they were going to be tortured until their death. Their youngest child never saw a birthday outside of captivity, was 9 months old when kidnapped by these terrorists, tortured basically his entire life, never really got to have an enjoyable moment with his entire family. The other child, who was also very young, I think 3 or 4, same thing. I mean, what would they ever remember of their real life when they're tortured like that in their final moments? So here you can see a closer-up video of the kidnapping of this family. The terror in her mother's eyes, only wanting one thing: to protect her children, to keep them safe, knowing that they likely would never return home again. Really, really sad. Terrible. These terrorists must be held to account. They must not be allowed to have their own country under control again. They must be brought to the knee by Israel. and the United States must support them. If this doesn't absolutely turn your gut upside down, I don't know if there's something wrong with you, but you should get checked out. So, in a further update that just came out today, it turns out that the additional body, one of the bodies received, was not actually the mom and does not even match any other hostage. So, they don't even know who this other person is, which is a great misstep. Here was a statement. Following the completion of the identification process by the National Institute of Forensic Medicine, in cooperation with the Israel Police, IDF representatives have informed the Bibas family representatives that their loved ones, Ariel and Kfir Bibas, have been identified. According to their professional assessments, based on the intelligent and forensic findings from the identification process, Ariel and Kfir Bibas were brutally murdered in captivity in the November 2023 by terrorists. The identification process also revealed that the additional body received is not that of Sherry Bibas, does not match any other hostage. The body remains unidentified. This constitutes a severe violation by the Hamas terrorist organization, which, according to the agreement, was obligated to return 4 hostage bodies. The IDF says in a statement, "We demand that Hamas return Sherry along with all our captives." This is egregious, but anybody who's as surprised about this does not understand, has not accepted the reality of the fact that the Hamas are a terrorist organization. They do not care about anything but their own interests. They only are making these negotiations to return these hostages and these dead bodies because they think it extends their ability to rule in the Gaza Strip and possibly outmaneuver Israel and their other allies. This is sick and must stop. The Hamas must come to an end.